What's up, everybody? It's a brand new episode of Put You On. I'm your host again, another week because Blue doesn't do much. Jenna, aka Miss Jenna Baby, and I have a special guest representing the ladies, the women, Ariela Nyx. Thank you for joining me. How are
Oh,
you?
thank you for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was just telling you that it's a lot of running around before my trip and whatever. So
Yeah.
But like, let me make sure I do this because out of me and him, I'm the one that works the hardest. So and people like to
Yes.
see me. So you know what I mean. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
have to,
I
I have to
appreciate.
come on and do this. Right?
I
Exactly.
appreciate you taking the time, girl.
So how's your week going? Any promotions, or you just like anything you doing in regards to matches, or just it's a chilled week for you?
Chill week wrestling wise. Got some things coming up. In the next couple of months. A little slow right now with COVID, which I haven't been rushing anyway. And I'll get to
Right.
training later this week, stuff like that. But for the moment, a little slow, chill. I'm not complaining though. It's cold. Who wants to
I
be
hear you
outside?
at all. And then Blue just told me that there's supposed to be a nor'easter this
On
upcoming
Saturday.
weekend. So yeah,
Yeah. I hope
so
I hope they're wrong.
so you mentioned so it's a little slow this week. So on your day to day week, obviously when you're not wrestling or training, what are things that you like to do on your free time?
Well, right now I've just been working a lot. My shoot job basically I do like financial planning, so that's been
Nice.
keeping me really busy, which is great. Learning a lot, and I started taking Muay Thai classes, so I'm trying to get my stuff up so I could be even better in the ring.
Kick kick people's ass
I'm
even more.
trying. That's
So
the plan. I gotta come back with a vengeance.
I hear you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you do for just on your free time essentially.
Yeah, I just started with that a couple weeks ago. So, it's a nice
How
new thing. Look forward to going every week. And right now
do
I
you
just,
find?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, finish. Go ahead, I'm
I was
sorry.
say I just been focusing like on the main job, right now, trying to build that up too. So
Just got multiple sources of income and just multiple careers going. I hear you. You got to.
exactly. Yeah, gotta do it big, man.
Absolutely. What do you find more challenging, that or wrestling?
I don't know. They both have their challenges. I would say, I guess maybe wrestling too. I don't know. It's like I said, they both have their challenges, but
Mhm.
I guess maybe wrestling a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to
So
beat
I
people up. I don't have to beat anybody up in financial planning or get beat
well,
up.
Well, listen, I used to be a banker. I used to work at Chase. And the customers that I used to have to deal with as a banker and whatnot, sometimes you felt like you want to beat them up essentially. So I don't know. It might come in
Right.
handy.
Yeah, we'll see
So
what happens.
so what made you so obviously you're a wrestler. How did you first get into wrestling? When did you decided, wow, I really love this?
It's funny. I grew up watching it like 4 years old, 5 years old. Always was a fan. Watched, tune in Raw every Monday night. Just used to go to a lot of shows in the garden when I was younger. So that's where I fell in love with wrestling. And then as I got older, started going to more independent shows, right? Like, around here locally. And that's when I started getting the itch. Like, I want to try this. And, I was like, I'll go for it. Worst case, I'll get in a little bit better shape. Good scenario, I'll get really something out of it. And it's been great. I didn't expect, not saying I'm like a big name or I'm anybody to begin with, but,
No,
I've
you
had
are. This is the whole point of this. We're trying to put
this.
people on to up and coming talent. Absolutely,
Yes.
you are for sure.
trying. So, yeah, it's been great. Have a lot of great experiences. And, hopefully it's just the beginning. So.
Absolutely. So when you say, so you said like 4 or 5 and going to the garden, because I know for me, like growing up with my mom, who's a single parent, and it's tabooed, right, for women, for little girls to like such a violent sport. So how was
Mhm.
that? Like you said again, 4 or 5, and you were going to shows. How was it? It must have been easy for you to, I'm assuming, to be able to watch it and then go to the shows. You
Yeah,
never
my
had
dad
any
was a
backup,
big fan, so that's like something we bonded over. My mom's not into it, but he
right?
was. My parents split when I was younger, but he always come over and visit things like that. So like him and I would watch it. Mom was just like, eh. Even now, if I have it on, she's like, you still watching that wrestling? I'm like, yes, mom.
I'm actually a wrestler.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am
right.
still
Yeah.
watching it. Yeah. So when you say that your mom, she's not really into it, but in regards to you following that as a career? How do you think both your parents, how do you think they feel about that?
Well, she's the more concerned out of the two. Just, I mean, they're both, God forbid you could always get hurt, things like that. She wasn't
Right.
crazy about it. He's more super excited. She has come see me wrestle a few times though, and she's happy when I'm doing well, things like that. So, they've both been pretty supportive, even though mom was just like, like, it's just like the worry of, it could always get hurt, things like that. They're parents.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're gonna be who they are. Um,
Exactly.
so who were your favorites growing up? Or even now? Like who do you enjoy watching?
My all-time favorite, Shawn Michaels. Current favorite would be Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. I still call him Daniel Bryan.
Listen,
Love him to death.
it's interchangeable with that name. I know him as Daniel Bryan, but
Yeah,
obviously that's not his name anymore.
exactly. So yeah, so he's definitely my current favorite. I'm glad to see him doing well and stuff. So
What made you gravitate to those two in particular?
I just love like both like Shawn Michaels. He was just the one that got me into wrestling. Like I remember just a little kid. I don't, he to me he was like the perfect package. It was gorgeous. Was like so good at wrestling. And then like as I got older, and understood wrestling. Like he could wrestle anybody and make them look good. Like that's
Yeah,
hard to do it. I just feel like and now like Daniel Bryan to me is the best wrestler in the world. Like
right.
he could go in there with a broom and like have the best match of the night. And he knows how to work all different types of styles and like I don't think he's ever had a bad match.
No, he's never had a bad match. And I just think about when I first, because I wasn't watching Ring of Honor back in the day, but as I got more familiar with wrestling, and he started like getting his character and his gimmick together, it just everything just meshed well, and it just for me took off. So, like you said,
Yeah.
he can wrestle a broom if he had to, and it would still be
Right.
a 5-star match, right?
Exactly.
So speaking of styles, you enjoy those two in particular. What would you say your style is like?
Definitely more like fighter, grappler, like striker. Definitely want like looking to be like more technical submission. I love like DB. You call him DB. Like he's my friend.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like I love like all the different submissions. So that's something that I want to work on. And now, like I mentioned, the Muay Thai classes to work on my strikes and more, so I could just hit people.
That makes sense. But
Yeah.
that's dope. That's absolutely dope. So where did you get? So obviously you grew up watching it, loving it, and then indie wrestling. But when you decided, how old was it when you decided, like, all right, this is what I want to do, and what were the steps you took in regards to following that passion?
Well, I started out training at House of Glory. Everybody knows they're based in Queens. So
Mhm.
actually Jay Lethal introduced me to Amazing Red. So that's basically how I got started. I had a great start there. I was there for about maybe 3 years. Then I just took a hiatus from wrestling, had to deal with, personal stuff or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, just went there, met Red, met Brian, and just, I was like, okay, start from the beginning and let's see what happens.
And that's great. Those are great people to learn from, especially everyone always puts over Amazing Red, just like
Mhm.
all the big names. So that's pretty dope that you got to work under him.
Yeah, he's great. We still keep in, even on at the school anymore, we still keep in contact from time to time. So he's helped me out a lot. I learned a lot and, grateful for my time there.
Awesome. Awesome. So, and in regards to like promotions and traveling, what's that been like for you, especially being a woman, right? Because again, I always mention this when I do these interviews, or when me and Blue are discussing it on our show. It's a white dominated sport, right? Industry. So how was your experience as a woman, and then you're biracial as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what's that been like for you?
Um, like it's been weird. Like I can't say I've had as many bad experiences as some people. I mean,
Right.
of course, you hear people talking behind your back. Like, like it gets like high school
Catty stuff.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I never really had any major issues to my face. I know probably people, oh, I don't want to book her for whatever reason or whatever they heard. That's fine. But of course, nobody's gonna say anything to you. But
Yeah.
fortunately, like I said, I haven't had any crazy like awful experiences like in a locker room or anything like that. And most of the people I've come in contact with have at least been cordial. So I mean,
Okay.
could be worse, could be better. Like you've heard stories, you see like things all the time, just how things are getting exposed, stuff like that. But I haven't dealt with it as bad as some other
Oh,
people.
do you find that there might be, like you mentioned, in regards to someone might say, "Oh, I'm not going to book her for XYZ reason or whatever." Do you find, maybe it's not for you, but do you notice that there's biases, whether it's because of your background or just being a woman?
I think so. Yeah. There's definitely still a lot of people that, just like you, they have one image and they're not willing to like, expand their horizons, I guess. And they have the bias to the people they want to book for whatever reason. And whether they have like a bad reputation, whatever, it's like, some people, it's always going to be, I mean, I hope it's not always like that. I hope, I think things are getting a little bit better, but it's like, take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or whatever that's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So it's just kind of like, I feel like we progress and then it just regresses again and stuff. So,
I agree with that.
I hope it continues to get better.
Absolutely. So what would be your advice for people that like younger than you, women, even men too, in regards to who want to follow this crazy world of wrestling, and what can you tell them to expect essentially?
First thing, definitely find a good school with good, a reputable school with reputable trainers. Because if you're training with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, then you're going to learn bad habits, things like that. You definitely want to be in a place with a good environment. It sucks like if you're going to training and even like the people, like your students, your fellow students are like, against you, like they don't want you getting opportunities because they want opportunities themselves and things like that. Like that high school drama is awful. Like, so try to avoid, unfortunately there's a lot of that in wrestling, but hopefully you can find a good reputable school where everybody supports each other. Like that's so important. It's not going to be easy, whether you're super athletic or not the most athletic. So just keep trying, don't give up because you can't do something on the first time, or, if you can't get it like on one day or something like that, like, trust me, I struggle. Like every time I'm just like, I should just quit. I suck at it. So, just like, if this is really what you want to do, just keep going forward. And like I said, just having a good support system that will motivate you when you're not doing well. Because like there's been places, they'll laugh at you if you mess up, or, I know like back in the old days, they like used to beat the students. I'm just like, what?
What? No, I can't fly now.
Exactly. So, definitely the first step is definitely finding a reputable school with, a good environment to train.
Absolutely. So you being a wrestler now, right? Watching the product now, whether it's Indies, AEW, WWE, whatever it is, do you find yourself watching it more as like these are my colleagues, or I'm still a fan? Because I noticed the trend during these interviews with a lot of wrestlers that we've interviewed, they say they don't look at wrestling anymore as a fan. They look at it more as competition, or like I should be in this position, or I want to face this person, and noticing things that you might have not noticed before. Is that the same for you?
A little bit of both. I try to enjoy it as a fan. Like, like when WrestleMania happens, it's still, you feel like a fan, like seeing that. I'm like, I would love to do that one day. Like, even though I'm not trying to get signed to WWE. That isn't my goal right now. But, but then it's like seeing like some people like in AEW or even WWE, I'm like, oh, I wrestled them. Like, that's so cool. Like, seeing somebody that I worked with is now like on TV every week. So like, it makes me happy just to see people, doing well. And then just, and it motivates you too. Like, I want to do that, or, I want to get that good. And like, there's so many talented people. So it's like you said, like, oh yeah, I want to wrestle them kind of thing, not just like competition or anything like that, but just like, they're so good. I would love to share the ring with them and, try to tell a good story or whatever. So it's a little bit of both, and then I watch to try to learn, I think everybody's better than me. So like, I watch everybody trying to learn and, get better with my craft and stuff like that.
I hear you. So you just mentioned, I'm interested to know, you said getting signed to WWE is not the goal right now. Why is that?
I mean, different reasons. Like you see, it's like they're always releasing, like your career is not really stable. You hear like, all the back stuff. To me, I'm older too. Like I know they're not looking at me just the way I'm not looking at them. Like, they're trying to sign younger people and stuff, which is cool. And at this point, I think, not that I'm trying to end my career, but like, I just I love like the independent scene where I can do it like, on my own terms, stuff like that. They're very strict. You have to do by their rules. You have to be at every show, even if you're not booked, things like that. So as much as I love WWE, the WWE made me fall in love with wrestling, but that's not where I see myself at this point. But if they want to book me for WrestleMania, I'll do it, or the Rumble.
I was about to say,
Put me in
said,
the
hey,
Rumble.
Ariela.
They need girls. They need some girls in the Rumble. So if they
That's
need
what
an
I'm
extra girl,
saying.
I could be 3 seconds in and out like Santino when he was in and out. I'll do that.
That's what I'm saying. If they listen, and I hear what you're saying because it's very valid and it's something that we all discuss as wrestling fans and how WWE specifically now. But it's just like, listen, I grew up watching it, and it's like if they came calling, it's like I'm gonna listen, right?
Yeah, just give me one Mania match. I'm good with that.
That's it.
I want a 3 second spot in the Rumble. I'll take it.
Knock it off the bucket list, and I'm good. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Exactly.
So, you mentioned more the indie scene is more your thing. Do you think? And I'm not trying to like pigeonhole you to any promotion, but what about like, for example, their competitor AEW? They're more lenient in regards to, all right, this is a big time promotion, but yet a lot of obviously big time their big time superstars or wrestlers are still fighting in indie promotions. Would that be an ideal situation for you?
Yeah, I mean, I like that they are more free with that, but then I feel like they're kind of too lax at the same times. It's like, I don't know, certain things they're like, going up, and then like, like the big thing, like with Tony Khan went off about Big Swole when he got so like stuff like that. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know if that environment's that much better, honestly. I don't know. I've never been backstage there, so I don't know. And like a lot of the guys I trained with got signed. I'm so happy for them, seeing them on TV every week now and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'll do dark one day. Give me I'm like the only indie wrestler that hasn't done dark yet. So give me on there just one time.
So it sounds like, you know what, I'm an indies girl.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel for right now. Like I'm not like my goal isn't a contract anywhere. I just want to enjoy the indies much, do as much as I can, work as many places as I can. If I could get like a one-off or AEW, WWE, Impact, that'd be amazing. I'd love to do one TV match before my career is over. But, I'm just looking more independence right now. We'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see, But that's where I think I am.
Where you're at right now.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome, though. Man, I'm sorry. We keep.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Like I said, like a contract isn't my goal right now. It's not
that's interesting. That's interesting because it just seems that like that's everyone's goal, but for you, you're just.
I'm the opposite, I guess.
Yeah, like you're enjoying life, you're enjoying your passion, and just like writing it out.
Yeah. And that's the plan, just if I can work as many places as I can, wrestle as many people as I can. Like I said, I would love to do one TV match one day.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself with a contract. It's not what I'm focused on at the moment. It might change, but I don't think so.
Hey, listen, I respect that because again, not everyone. A lot of people are a lot of people are into wrestling and that's their passion. But they also dream about the glitz and the glamour and the money. And it seems like for you, you love wrestling, you're passionate, and you just want to do it for fun and
there's a lot behind the scenes with the glitz and glam, that you don't think about and stuff. And it sucks like seeing people get signed and then 6 months later they're getting released, and it's just like. Like so some people are so bitter about it and just like,
Just protect my peace, right? It's just, I hear you. Absolutely. So when you say, you had mentioned, I don't want to mess up your words, but essentially you mentioned in regards to you don't plan on wrestling for too much longer. Is it something in the foreseeable future that you want to get a few more matches in different promotions and then hang it up, or it's just, is a little bit longer than that?
I would say a little bit longer than that. Like, I mean, I'm like I'm in my mid 30s, so I'm not going to be wrestling for 20 more years. But, no, I'm not ready to hang it up yet. But, I mean, like I said, I'm closer to the end than I think the beginning, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I might be 48 still wrestling. Who knows if I can still go.
If you can still go, you're ready.
We'll see how, I don't have like an end date in mind or anything like that. I just assume like I'm not going to be wrestling in 20 years.
I hear you.
55, trying to still go.
Listen, because for me at 31, I'm just like my aches and all that, getting out of the bed, it's a lot. So I can't imagine you actually wrestling and doing this for a living and taking bumps. Must be
my chiropractor is my best friend. So
absolutely. So you said mention you're in your mid 30s. You started. So when did you actually start? I know you mentioned in regards to your passion and Amazing Red and House of Glory and everything. But when did you actually start?
I was like about to be 28. I started late.
Okay.
Yeah,
Started late.
I really got into late in the game. Like I said, I always loved wrestling, but never had a passion to do it until I started going to independent shows. So I think that's another reason why, I love the indie so much, because that made me want to do it,
I
so.
love that. I love that because we've been doing this show since, or not this particular show, but just our podcast since 2018. And then I've got to meet so many people that love wrestling, and then so many people, well, you should try out wrestling. You love it so much, and this, that, and third. But my excuse was, I'm 28. I don't think I can go. So just to hear you say that, you know what, I'm gonna take this chance and follow my passion at 28 is pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Reminds me how old I am.
No, we're still very much young.
Yes.
We're still very much young, but obviously when it comes to sports and stuff like that, it's ideally they say,
yeah, they want somebody in the young 20s, that has
right,
longevity and stuff like that. So
right. But hey, we see a lot of people such as Charlotte, who, if I'm not mistaken, started late, and you just a lot of wrestlers well into their 40s that are actually killing it right now. So
exactly. So
you're never too young to go out there and just try it, right?
yeah, that's for sure.
So what are some of the promotions that since the focus is indies, what are some of the promotions that you've been able to work with, and what's been more so your favorite, if you have a favorite?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm grateful. Right now I've been training at Creator Pro for almost 3 years. So, I'm grateful for them. They've helped me a lot. Like how I mentioned before, just a good environment that everybody wants to support everybody. Like, you go in there, they want to help you. They want to see everybody do well, which is it's hard to find, sadly.
Right.
So, I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful, with them. I've gotten to do extra work with WWE. Did a practice match in Madison Square Garden. So I'm grateful for that, for Pat and Brian for getting me, booked there and stuff like that. Got to do extra work for WrestleMania a couple years ago. So getting those experiences has been, phenomenal. Like I said, I'm not looking to get signed, but getting to be backstage at WrestleMania is just like, kid's dream come true. And then, like I said, for me, doing that practice match in the Garden, like I thought about 10-year-old me sitting there, like,
yeah, so, and being from New York, right? Like that.
Exactly, because that building is where I fell in love with wrestling for real. So, just grateful I've worked at so many, a lot of places up like the Northeast Coast, and hopefully now I can just, especially hopefully COVID will get better and go away and things like that. And I just love to work other places. I would love to work on the West Coast, down south, just trying to get out there as much as I can.
Absolutely. Would you consider traveling overseas?
Oh yeah, definitely. UK is definitely on top of my list too. So hopefully one day I'll get out there.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Awesome. Any particular people you wrestled now that's been your favorite to work with? Any dream matches you have?
Let's see. I have so many dream matches. Like it's, like ultimate dream is Daniel Bryan, because I said he's my favorite wrestler. It's funny, I met him and I told him that. He's like, "Oh, thank you."
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. I've met him a couple of times, and I think that's what made me like him too. Like, just be like, I remember the random advice he gave me, because it was right before I had my first match. And he's like, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna suck, but it's fine because it's your first match. Don't worry, everybody's first match sucks. So don't feel bad when it sucks, but it's gonna be fine." So yeah, he's like my ultimate
sound advice.
Yeah, which is true. But so yeah, he's like my ultimate dream opponent. Trying to think where else. There's so many people. Like, I would love to wrestle Candice LeRae. Like, seeing her kind of really inspired me to wrestle. Like, she's such a sweetheart too. I'm so happy she's about to have her baby. Like, she's such a good person. So she deserves the world. And hopefully when she comes back, I can get a match one day somehow.
Hey, and like we've seen with Becky, right? You can have a baby and still come back and be on top of your game. So absolutely, that'd be dope. Any other dream opponents, or those are two that you can think of on the top of your head? Anybody on the indies?
Yeah, definitely top two. I mean, there's so many, there's so many talented people on the indies. Like, name them, I'm like, yeah, I want to wrestle them. But yeah, that would say they're my top two. So
Awesome. So what's your take on, you mentioned Candice LeRae and obviously you being a woman wrestler, what's your take on women's wrestling? And do you think it's constantly evolving, or is a situation what we discussed earlier in regards to would take two steps forward, one step forward and two steps back?
I mean, it's definitely evolved. And I think one of the reasons I didn't have the inspiration to wrestle as a kid, like I grew up like with the Attitude Era, and right before that,
Same.
the Divas, like even though the Divas are killing it, they always got the two matches, and then they always had the bra and panties and all that stuff. Like they had talent, but you would never know it because they weren't given that opportunity. And now look, women have main evented WrestleMania. You're seeing like, so many different women's promotions and different women's, like a lot more women. I love the intergender. I love seeing, intergender as well. That's big on that too. I want to wrestle a lot of guys too. I want to wrestle everybody. I don't care like what gender you are, non-binary, man, woman, who cares? Let's go.
Let's go.
Exactly. So, I love that how much it's grown. Again, same thing with the, 2 steps forward, 1 step back or whatever. So, even though we're making a lot of progress, it's still like, I saw something, I forgot who it was about, some women's match and guys were just yelling like vulgar stuff at the women the other day. And I'm like, see, like, these women are killing it. They're so talented and they're just being degraded, so it's still.
I think that might have been at Survivor Series where the women were having a match, and then I think Becky the following day called the fans out because they were being degrading. If that's what that's
no,
what
it was something on the Indies. I think it was with Kylie Ray and somebody. It was like 2 weeks ago or something very recently. But again, we see with WWE like the women there too. So it's like, women's wrestling is a lot more respected. Like women have shown we can do just as good as the men, if not better. But then at the same time, you have like certain fans or even certain wrestlers that don't respect women, and it's just like, why? Because we're better than you, So, it still has a little bit to go just with people just not being so like chauvinistic and stuff towards the women. But it has grown. I'm so happy to see the progress and seeing like the chances that we are getting.
Is there something in particular that we still haven't seen? Like it seems like in the past couple of years, like you said, women's wrestling has definitely evolved, and we've seen pay-per-views, main events, etc., etc. Is there something that you can think of that maybe you'd like to see that women haven't really, maybe they have done, but they haven't really focused on, or you think that they've covered everything?
I can't think of a specific example, but I mean, we could always do more. Like seeing women main event WrestleMania twice now, like that. Yeah. So, especially seeing Black women last year, like I literally cried at that. I was like, yes, we did it, like I really was emotional at that. So, I mean, we can, keep breaking the glass ceiling. Like I said, I can't think of a specific example, but just, more like. Like I know it's been a male dominated sport, but I want, hopefully at some point where it becomes, all shows are at least 50-50 men and women. It's not just, a lot of promotions, it's like all men, one woman match or something like that. I want, I hope we get to the point where it's equal amount of men and women on most shows.
Absolutely. Going back to what you just mentioned in regards to WrestleMania last year with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair main eventing, you mentioning crying and whatnot. Tell me a little bit more. What did that mean for you, and just what do you think in regards to like Black women wrestlers? Are they getting the respect that in regards to deserve, or is it still something?
I think it's still, we have a long way. Unfortunately, I think Black women still have a long way to go. Not that we haven't done the same thing as anybody else, but it's just, the bigotry and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I think there's still a ways to go. I mean, this was definitely a great stepping stone, and the women killed it. They had such a good match. It showed like everybody can do, women can do it, Black women. But unfortunately, I do think, like the opportunities are still limited just because of race or whatever, and it sucks, like everybody should have the same opportunity. But so I think that, unfortunately there's still a little bit to go, but we're breaking the glass ceiling just like everybody else.
I was just about to say, you guys are definitely breaking the glass ceiling. So so let's get into this match.
Oh God, I have to watch myself.
What? No, why? Why are we doing this?
I hate watching myself. Like, it's
why?
I don't know. I hate, like, I'm just like, ugh.
Oh man, is
So,
it? Well, it makes sense, right? Because like I know when people say when we listen to our own voices, like it's cringe. So I could only imagine like actually watching yourself performing. It
yeah.
might be a little weird, but it might be surreal. I could imagine it's surreal too, just to see yourself and like, damn, I'm
Like, oh,
actually
wow, I
doing
actually
it.
did wrestle. Like,
Yeah,
so.
and this match, and they got over 1 million views.
Oh, wow, did it?
If I'm not mistaken, that's what this was. What
Gotcha.
Boo was signing.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me. I got
2 million.
corrected. 2 million. Excuse me.
Wow. This is a good
So,
time.
so
I miss
Miss Nyx
tequila.
is out here. Miss Nyx is out here doing it with 2 million views. So we got Tequila Rose. So tell me about this match and
um,
why you chose this.
you guys chose it. I told I was like, you guys choose. I'm like, it's up to you guys. I'm like, I don't want to look at me. So
I hear
um,
you.
I think I have to see which, because we've wrestled a couple of times here, so I don't remember which one this is.
You
But
need a refresher.
yeah, but she's great to work with. We had a couple of matches together. Hopefully our paths will cross again at some point.
Absolutely.
But good times. Yeah, that's my thing. I throw my jacket on people's heads. I know some people probably don't want to see Mark's face right now, but
so
so
you're
Mark.
you're working as a heel, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was heel
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Do you find it easier to
Yeah, I
play
feel like I'm a
heel?
natural heel at heart. It's easier to be bitchy, and it's like my character is based partially like what people always say before they, oh, like I thought you were such a bitch, like because
Yeah.
I'm very reserved when I don't know people, so like people could take that the wrong way. So,
Right, right.
but,
So how would you, if you were in an elevator, right, and you had to give your pitch, how would you describe your character? You said you're reserved and whatnot, but what exactly is your character?
just she's opposite, like very egotistical heel, full of herself, ready to get in your face, not afraid of anybody, who
Right.
doesn't matter who you are, I will fight you. And then I'll look cute while doing it.
Period. Exactly. I feel like I'm like you're so like about watching this.
I know. I'm trying not to cover my face. I'm like, all right, I gotta get better with
Watch
this.
it. Listen, 2 million people watched it, so there's something.
Hopefully, it's not like all bad reviews.
Stop.
I know. I'm very critical of myself. I think most people are, but
Yeah,
definitely
no,
critical.
that makes sense.
Like I said, she's great to work with. I haven't seen her in forever, so
Yeah.
Oh, did it stop?
No, yeah, it looks like Blue. Hit the play button. Can I do it? Blue. Having technical difficulties over here.
Uh-oh.
Come. Hold on. Blue, you gotta hit play. It's not playing. Hold on. See, I told you I always gotta be the one to do it.
Right. Uh-oh. See, it's a sign. Don't watch
no, it's not a sign because when I see 2 million people watching it, that obviously means it's hot fire.
Hopefully. No, this match was decent from what I remember. And like I said, I'm very critical of myself, so don't listen to me. I'll
so
be
like, so you said you remember about this match. So can you describe it while we're waiting for this to come up? Can you describe like was it just a random match, just you guys linking up, or was it like an ongoing feud?
Yeah, we had was this the first? I'm trying to remember. I think this might have been the second. I feel like we did have a few. I know we were building up a few, but I can't remember. I forget which match this was now. I'm so bad with that. like, remember, what order. Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. I'm horrible with this.
No, I could imagine. So you guys, you guys probably wrestle pretty often then.
Yeah, we definitely, there was like a mixed tag at one point too, and like I said, we worked a couple of times at this promotion, so so I feel like this might have been the second. I don't think this was the first match. I don't remember. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on here.
I know.
Sorry for those of you watching right now. We're having technical difficulties. The fire match.
We're saving the fans from watching me wrestle.
We're not saving the fans. We're not.
Oh, there we go. It's moving.
There we go.
My girl Aubrey being the ref over here. Shout out to her. Yeah.
Because she was outside in the ring just now, right?
No, I'm talking about the ref.
No. Who was outside in the ring?
She came out with Camilla. She was like up and coming too. Yeah, I forget why she was with her, but I guess she was just trying to get they put her with her to get experience, but it was kind of like she's a face with a manager, and I don't know. I forget why she was there because she wasn't really part of the storyline, but
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what's wrong with this match that you can't watch this?
It's just me. I just hate myself. It's
Oh, this is really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm very critical of myself, so
Hey, you're your own worst critic.
Yeah, for sure.
And what promotion is this with?
They're called Test of Strength. They're really coming up to Slick Wagner's the owner and the trainer there. It's up in Connecticut. Great place to check out. Another place with a good vibe. So yeah, this is when they were kind of first starting out building up the school. They brought me up and a couple other people to do matches, and now they're doing more live events and stuff. So they've really come up in the past couple of years, and hopefully I'll make a return there soon. It's been a while I've wrestled for them. Like I said, it was a great place to be. So
how long ago was that? You said it's been a while.
Probably 2018, 2019, definitely way before the pandemic. So
right.
Yeah, I gotta hit up Slick. Yeah, it's time for a reunion.
Absolutely, book as many shows as possible.
Yeah, has it been I still have the undercut. My side of my head is shady. I needed a haircut for this show, but I didn't get one.
It's all good when it's hard hitting. You don't really notice all those things.
Yeah,
just brawling.
Exactly.
Is it now a little bit more challenging since the pandemic and everything? Is it harder to book more shows, or are you comfortable still?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. It really slowed down. Last year, I only had maybe 2 bookings the whole year, but a lot of things weren't running as much. But things are starting to pick back up, and I'm slowly trying to get my way back in it. So
absolutely,
a little bit of everything. Just you got to be careful too, and some promotions aren't taking any precautions and stuff. I'm yikes, okay, but
yeah.
So
what do you have to do in the sense when you say that some promotions aren't taking those protocols? So what do you have to do to keep yourself safe?
I'm vaccinated, obviously. A lot of people are, fortunately. I usually get a COVID test a couple of days before the show, just make sure I'm okay, that I'm not one bringing something in, and I usually keep I try to keep my mask on a lot, depending, and hopefully promotions are asking for COVID tests and stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, everybody's different. You have some people that don't believe in it and all that stuff too. And I get, it's so many different arguments, so many different scenarios and stuff. But
that's another topic.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So it's crazy. I never thought we'd experience anything like this especially for so long.
Yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, you can only you can protect yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like when you started training and just taking bumps and stuff like that? How was that how that feeling?
Rough.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh
and then like
man.
the first day I couldn't do like a forward roll. I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good. I was like, I should have known from there.
It's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, like it was a lot. Like your body, it's to train yourself to bump a certain way. It's like it's going against what your body would naturally do. So it takes a while to really get used to it. So,
For sure, for sure.
yeah.
What are some moves that have become easier as you constantly do this? Like is running the ropes easy or
Yeah, it does hurt. It can hurt your back though. That's something that people don't realize. Like, especially if like your back is exposed, you're hitting that rope kind of hard. You do feel it. But I mean, like the
um,
basics. I think I have them down. But you hear me.
I mean you're
but
the wrestler.
so
What's your finisher?
say that again.
Your finisher.
Rolling elbow.
Okay. And
Mm.
what made you decide to that was gonna be your finisher?
I was kind of playing around one day, like I did it. Must have been watching Chris Hero or something. And I was like, oh, that actually looked good. So I went with it. It's simple move, but just power. Um,
Yeah.
I've always used it a lot. I use the Rude Awakening a lot too. Um,
Hmm.
and then definitely want to come up with some new stuff when I get back into have some stuff coming up in March and April. So, working on
Nice.
some new stuff. So we'll see. But
Aye. That's right. Let's go.
Right.
Is this so? How is this like a empty arena type thing? Well, no. There were some people there.
Yeah, there's a
With
couple. It's like it's at their school, so it is very small. But there is some like you can't see them. But there was maybe like 20 fans sitting there or whatever. Like they were doing this for like the students to work in front of a crowd too. And like I said, they brought like me and Tequila and a couple other people. Just so like to have different matches and stuff like that for the crowd. And
right, right.
so, mm.
Let's go. Come on, you gotta beat her ass.
Don't worry.
You gotta beat her ass.
Don't worry, it's coming. I gave her a little bit. I gave her a little bit.
Right, 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 right. Just a little something, something.
Oh, make her feel good before I beat her.
Exactly.
Nope, we got ads.
It's 2 million views. 2 million views is gonna get you the ads.
Right? Crazy. I didn't know it had that many views.
So you really don't sit back and was that it?
Wait, did it cut off? Was that the end? That wasn't the end of the match, but like, was that the end of the video? Did it skip?
Man.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. Well,
you have to, and like I try to, but it's like it's torture. Yeah, I'm just
yeah.
because you want to see like what you not do wrong, but like things that you could work on and stuff like that. It does help you get better, and I have to be better with watching my stuff to learn. But it's oh my god, I'm like cringing.
What's when you cringe and it's hard to watch yourself, but what is it exactly like? You are your own worst critic, but
Mhm.
what is it that you feel in regards to just watching it back? What is like that's making it so hard to do that?
Yeah, I guess just looking at like I don't like the way maybe like I move a certain way, or if it looks too slow or something. I'm just like I don't know. It's just me. So
I
wait.
hear you.
So is this the end of the match we're going to here?
Yeah, it looks like it because it looks like
Yeah, it might have been in 2 parts, which is weird. It wasn't that long, but
it wasn't a long match. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say you're gonna have to narrate and tell me the rest of the match.
gotcha. Yeah, all right. I don't want to spoil it now since we got the end here. So
Yeah. Ooh.
she took my rolling elbow.
I was about to say that was pretty decent. That was pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she got very excited. She thought her girl won, but
You
she
gotta
ain't win.
relax.
She
You gotta
ain't
relax,
win.
ma. You gotta relax.
Right? Yep. Gotta pay attention to the match, girl.
See? You got way too excited. Cost your girl to win.
Yep, exactly.
Look at her.
Yeah.
See? Don't check on her.
I'm
It
such a mess.
was good.
Thank you, thank you.
So so go ahead. Plug in anything. You said you had a couple of matches coming up in March.
Yeah, they haven't been announced yet, so stay tuned to my social media. You see my name there on Twitter and Instagram, Ariela Nyx. You can add me on Facebook as well. So yeah, those announcements will be coming soon. So yeah, I'm looking
Okay.
forward. A couple things, still building it up, but the few that I have so far, I'm excited about, and just gotta keep it going.
That's it. That's it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties and
It's
the
all
late
good.
start.
It's all good.
Well, definitely, I definitely wish you the best, and then let us know so we can definitely check you out. Since
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll definitely once they're announced, I'll definitely promote it. So yes, follow me on social media and keep up with me.
There you go. And next week we have. Let me see. Next week we have Big Game Leroy.
Oh,
Blue will
okay.
Blue will be hosting that. It won't be as good, but he'll be hosting that show. So thank you for watching this show.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.